guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. My name is Ryan. We're filming from New York City, New York. I thought it'd be fun to come out with my top 5 similarities between myself, the Independent Investor Channel, and Jeremy's channel, the Financial Education Channel. I'm going to walk you through, from my perspective, the 5 similarities that I do believe that we have amongst each other. I'm also going to talk about my top 5 differences, actually, between myself and Jeremy's channel with the financial education. So let's jump right into it, man. We're going to talk about similarities to start. The number one similarity, honestly, these are from my perspective, is that we're both working off of YouTube for a platform, you know? That's a definite, obvious similarity, and I think there's a lot of people out there in the landscape that are trying to deliver a message to customers, subscribers that may be interested in the particular subject, right? I don't really think there's any harm in that, but that's what I identified as one of the similarities between my channel and his channel. The number 2 similarity is we talk about investing. He talks a little bit more on the entrepreneurial side. I've run my own businesses as well. I've been extremely successful at those. But certainly the niche of our channels is talking about investing. He has a much larger channel than mine. I have a very small channel. I don't do daily uploads in any case at all, but I've had a few of the folks come on and drop comments on me without any real specifics with regard to how I've copied his channel or how there's distinct similarities. Certainly, if you feel that way, you're entitled to your opinion, but be specific with regard to your observation. These are just opinions from my perspective on how we are similar. Number 3, I've been beat up on this many times with regard to the decor. If that's really your focus and you're absolutely aggrieved by the fact that I have decor on my particular channel, you can't buy the bull anywhere other than Wall Street. So I kind of beg to differ. I actually got my pictures downtown Manhattan, New York. So they do sell those on the open market. So anybody's actually has the opportunity to buy those things. And then the subscribe sticker, I'm quite certain I'm okay to kind of ask people to subscribe to my channel. So aside really from my decor, I've heard a lot of people that have beat me up over my starting videos where I actually used to use a whiteboard. I don't need a whiteboard anymore because I can talk about this topic right from my heart. And that's what I deliver to you guys as a product. So you guys can stop beating me up over the whiteboard because as you can see, I don't have a whiteboard anymore on my set. So thank you for that. Thank you for pointing that out. And I've since removed that since I've been filming on some of my newer content. Number 4, I think a good similarity between myself and Jeremy is that we're just trying to reach people. No doubt about it. We're using social media as a platform. I tend to gravitate toward YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for my preferred method of trying to reach people and get our message out. Again, a much larger audience. I actually asked Jeremy quite some time ago when I was actually thinking about starting my channel to provide my niche message, and I was ignored. So it actually motivated me to kind of come out with my channel and kind of offer my perspective directly instead of having somebody with a much larger group offer that message with the intent of helping people. And the last number 5 reason as to why I think we're similar in nature is I do get a feeling of sincerity. He's a human being just like me. Those are our 2 similarities, honestly, in that I know he speaks about his family. I have a family as well. And anybody who's looking to work really, really hard to support those efforts, you know, in supporting the family, and I'm all about it. And I would go the nth degree to help somebody. So those are kind of the top 5 similarities from my perspective. So you guys can stop leaving hate on my channel with regard to me being a copycat, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about my top 5 differences between the Independent Investor channel and the Financial Education channel. Number 1 is experience, all right? In the investing world, experience is golden, okay? And anybody who has had experience in the stock market for under 10 years is not experienced, okay? And we learn from experiences from folks with multiple decades in the stock market, even folks like me who have been investing for 25 years. We still tend to make a lot of mistakes, and we are always evolving as an investor. You never know everything, all right? But the main difference between myself and Jeremy on his channel is the fact that he talks all the time about starting to invest right at the financial downturn about 1 decade ago, about 10 years ago. And I think really it's kind of a misconstrued understanding of the stock market, in that thinking that it always just goes up and it never goes down. I think if you've invested through some of the corrections or major corrections over the last 25 years, you can really resonate with the facts that markets, yes, do go up, but they also go down. And so to teach people on principles to prepare for both contingencies is extremely important in putting a message across through YouTube that people can take and use for themselves. Number 2 is the approach. I can't find really any similarities between my program and Jeremy's program. And from what I understand from tuning into his videos and hearing the message that comes across, he tends to gravitate towards single stock and stock investing. And that's great. If it works for you, fantastic. It's not something that I advocate for specifically in looking for in nothing but growth names and less on the proven blue chip dividend investing that I talk about. All right. Now we can talk all day and night about who has the best stock and who gets a better rate of return per year, right? But one thing that gets missed on every other channel that I've ever tuned into, I'm the only one that talks about it. I've had a few channels crop up and start the program that I talk about all the time, and that is putting a lot of the emphasis in the type of account that you own. And if you're not housing these stocks in a bucket or an investment retirement account that provides you wealth preservation and tax protection going forward, then what is the point of investing in a stock only to be subject to tax and only to be subject to higher than average brokerage fees? It makes no sense to me. And that's why I teach people on the fundamental premises of starting the correct account first, putting safe and passive assets within that account. And I break it down because I do that. It's my approach. And that's one of the big differences that I find in the program, is that I believe my program is much more scalable because I can teach somebody in 3 simple steps how to do exactly what I just talked about. But selling somebody on finding the next best thing with regard to the next hottest stock out there that's going to provide you higher than average returns is not scalable. It's not. You can't teach the masses to go out there and continually win with stock picking. Guys, the analysts can't do it. Fund managers fail 96% of the time to duplicate alpha on a consistent basis year in and year out. So why are we trying to do it as regular individuals who are not analysts? It's impossible, all right? Number 3 is the fees, guys. The Independent Investor channel does this free of fees. Now, I do advertise on my videos to receive some compensation. That is the sole and individual way of me making income through YouTube. I do not have a stock market mastery course, nor do I feel like new investors need to be putting their money to work in a stock mastery course. Jeremy does offer that for $1,000. He does provide some discounts, and if you can find value in the program, I endorse it highly. My question is, would those dollars be just as better served putting them to work in a self-directed Roth IRA account, in a passive S&P 500 account, and allowing it to grow over time? Guys, if we set up a sample and we took 100 students from the Stock Market Mastery course on the financial education that he offers, and we took 100 students and we said, each and every one of you 100 students, deploy the knowledge that you received after spending $1,000 on that account, and let them build the account that they want and invest in the assets that they want. My people over here investing passively in the S&P 500 will beat every single one of these guys every single time, and especially if you let more time and more time pass. After 40 years, you're going to find that these folks over here have all faltered, and these folks over here have actually enjoyed compounding going forward, because there's way too much idea that trading in and out of stock over here is somehow okay or endorsed for a new investor, or that a new investor thinks that they can actually do that successfully, whereas over here, we're putting that $1,000 to work and we're leaving it alone to compound over time, guys. This side over here will work, and it will work every single time. So the fees, I offer my information for free. It's just that simple, and it will remain that way to protect the integrity of my message. So complain all you want about the Independent Investor channel. At the end of the day, my intent is to help people. I do not charge people anything for any of my information. I do not offer pamphlets. I do not even put a tip jar out in the front of my channel. Number 4, one of the main differences, I think, is if you do YouTube for a living, you tend to push the envelope or are forced to push the envelope a little bit more with the intent of benefiting yourself, okay? You need to push the envelope to continue that high level of income that you're bringing in. So every time you sit down and you're looking to crank up the money machine, your intent is really driven toward monetary compensation as opposed to looking out for the people that you're serving, okay? Now, I don't do YouTube for a living. I've said many, many times I could shut this channel down tomorrow and I would be completely fine with it. I would go on with my life and I would close the book and I would have no regrets at all because I know I've helped people, all right? Now, the intent of the separation between doing YouTube for fun and doing it with the sheer intent of helping people means that I don't have to have an agenda. And quite frankly, I'm going to rest on those morals for the life of the channel going forward, guys. I'm going to continue to press the fact that I put credible information out there and it's free of charge, and I don't have to push daily uploads to you guys every single day for the sheer intent of pushing out content. And that's a big difference between the two. He's trying to make a living at it. I'm not. That's a big, big difference. And I wish him all the well. I really do. I hope he has all the success in the world. I hope he gets up to his 1 million subscribers. Because at some point during the life of that channel, he will have to rest on the morals and the integrity of the message that's put across. I'm prepared to do that now. Not a problem. Number 5, the biggest difference between the Independent Investor channel and the Financial Education channel, quite frankly, and a lot of people that are putting or accusing me of copying that particular channel, the biggest difference and the biggest thing that you guys failed to recognize when actually tuning into my videos is me. That's the biggest difference. There's no two people on YouTube that are talking about self-directed investing, number 1. They're not talking about actually doing self-directed investing because the concept hasn't been going on that long. Not only that, there's not a lot of people out there who have participated in self-directed investing who know enough about investing to actually succeed at self-directed investing. And furthermore, it takes somebody like myself who's willing to provide that testimonial because you are not going to hear it from anybody else, guys. The only source of this income is provided to you guys through referral. So in my opinion, the biggest difference between my channel and his channel is me. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this comparison, the top 5 similarities and the top 5 differences from my particular opinion. I'm sick and tired, honestly, of hearing people come onto the channel and just spit venom without having any type of specifics. Guys, offer those specifics. Don't be a coward. Don't just hit the thumbs up button without any type of criticism of the channel. If you have criticisms of the channel, I will respond to those directly, absolutely. But when you talk to somebody who's offering advice that at the end of the day is aimed at empowering people, guys, you're spending way too many times being critical of a channel instead of just sitting back, shutting your mouth, and listening to the information because it is credible. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Independent Investor channel, I encourage you to do this. We talk along the lines of empowering individual investors to realize the benefits of investing on their own. Guys, you'll eliminate fees within your retirement accounts and you'll tax protect your hard-earned dollars going forward, and you guys are going to realize the financial goals quicker in the future by tuning into my very simple program to follow. No experience necessary. All you have to do is pay attention and have an open mind. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Leave your comments at the bottom of this. I hope this generates a lot of conversation. I hope you guys will back me up. The folks that have been watching me for a year, I hope they'll address and maybe kind of earmark some of these differences that you see in the comments section. I'll get back to you at my leisure. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.